and welcome to another episode of Spotlight on Stage, where we shine a light on theatre across Greater Manchester. I'm Michelle Eagleton. I'm the arts and culture correspondent for I Love Manchester. And if you love theatre, you are in the right place, because coming up, I'm going to be telling you what is on stage this week at theatres across our wonderful city. And of course, I like a good old natter with stars from the stage and those behind the scenes. And this past week, I've been catching up with a guy you will definitely recognise. He has starred in Casualty, he starred in The Vicar of Dibley, and more recently, Game of Thrones. I'm talking about Clive Mantle. Now, he's on his way to Salford to perform at Lowry in Ghost Stories, and this has come direct from London's West End. It's been a huge hit there, and if you like a little bit of the scare factor, it is definitely up your street. It comes from tomorrow, the 25th of February, and runs until the 1st of March. And here's Clive to tell us all about it.
It's great to come back. I've been there several times now, and it's a bit like coming home. It's a funny old week because the Salford Quays can be a bit bleak in in the rain and the wind, but actually it's such a remarkable facility. Manchester's so lucky to have all these wonderful places on its doorstep to go and see. Great theatre, great musicals, great ballet. You know, it's an extraordinary hub of the arts there. It's fantastic.
It is. And, talking about that weather, as long as you wrap up, you're fine. But I do feel it suits what you're doing. I mean, you want it a little bit dark and a bit cold for ghost stories, right?
Absolutely. The chillier, the better. Yes. We've got this amazing soundscape in the play, which is almost like an extra character. I refer to it as, it's in the foyer, it's in the theatre beforehand. A whole half hour of this amazing soundtrack, which really puts people in their place. They know very firmly where they are. And it's a glorious accompaniment to the play, which is going down very well. It's still scaring people. It's still making them jump. It's still making them think. That's the important thing. And with a show like this, it's incredible because there's a whole new audience coming to the theatre. People who've never even been to panto, they've never been to a straight drama or a comedy or a musical. They're coming to see a scary story, and it's our responsibility, which we take very seriously, to make sure that their first trip to a theatre is not their last. You know, we want them to get hooked on the vibrancy and the energy and the magic of live theatre, because we need an audience for the future, and it's our
I know.
responsibility to drag them in. It's
There is nothing like live theatre. But what do you think fascinates people so much about the paranormal?
Well, I think most people either have had a strange experience, or can easily imagine a strange experience in their life. And it's only sort of one step around the corner from the reality in which they're living in. We've all had massive coincidences in our lives, and you go, how did I just walk past that person, 30 seconds before? When you find out the answer to something, you realize the world is, in a sense, a lot smaller place than we think. And people genuinely want to feel that they can talk to people who are not here anymore. And it's a fascinating subject. I have to say, I'm of the school that hid behind the sofa when Doctor Who was on. So, I peeked out occasionally during the bits that I could hear where there was nothing terribly scary going on. So I think if I came to see this play, I'd have to book the seat behind the one I was sitting in as well, so I could hide behind the. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, and I'm sure you do get that as well. I'm sure there's a lot of the audience who are probably there kind of watching it with their eyes like this. Yeah.
We can see it on stage. We can literally see people hiding in their in the armpits of the person next to them. Some of them who they don't know. I don't hiding in strangers' armpits. What an
What is
evening
it
out.
like though when you're seeing that, and especially if they're jumping or if there's a scream in the audience, trying
Yeah.
to keep your composure on stage? That must be quite challenging.
Well, we know where they're going to come.
Ah,
It's not as if I mean, the fun, the fun is always the reaction you get from the audience, because that's who we're doing it for. But there's always the odd strange reaction, and wonderful Dan Tetzel, who plays the professor, who sort of links the whole evening together. He's a stand-up comedian, so he can deal with it. He can deal with it, and has done. So there's quite often strange reactions, and he's the master of including that in the event. Uh,
well, yeah. I mean, he's been there and done that before. But
yeah,
talking about it, I mean, I know there's not a lot we can say because you don't want to give anything away on this. But there's a professor, and there's three stories, and
that's
one
right.
of which is your story, right?
That's
So tell us
right.
a little bit about
the,
your
the,
character.
he's the main character, the parapsychologist, is he's trying to debunk three ghost stories, which he's an arch skeptic. He doesn't believe in the paranormal, and he's trying to illustrate to the audience that's bunk 'em. And one by one, these stories unfold. So one is a warehouse security guard at night. As you can imagine, that's a fairly fertile ground for things to appear and shock people. The other is a medical student on the way back from a party in his car, and I play a pretty horrible businessman who's expecting his first child. A swaggering beast of a man, really, who has an experience which the professor tries to get to the bottom of. Yeah, so it's basically three wonderful ghost stories presented to the audience, and the sets are incredible, the atmosphere is incredible, the lighting, and I've mentioned the sound already. Just wonderful extra characters, really.
Oh, that is giving me goosebumps already. I don't know if I'm brave enough to go and see that, but if you want to catch it, all you need to do is head to our website. You can find loads more about it there, and you can book those all important tickets. It's ilovemanchester.com/theatre. And as I say, you can see Clive in Ghost Stories from tomorrow night until the 1st of March. Now, let's take a look what's on at other theatres across Manchester this week. Well, get ready for the ultimate rock experience as Bat Out of Hell roars back into the Palace Theatre. Yes, it opens tonight. It runs until the 8th of March. The iconic music of Jim Steinman and Meatloaf will once again shake the stage, delivering an electrifying journey that will ignite your love for rock like never before. And of course, you have got some fantastic music. I do anything for love, but I won't do that. Paradise by the Dashboard Light, and of course, Bat Out of Hell. It really is an epic production. If you want to find out more about it, I interviewed Katie Tompkinson, who plays Raven. So just scroll back onto the I Love Manchester Theatre Facebook page, and she will tell you everything you need to know. Staying with musicals, something maybe a little bit tamer from the hand of Andrew Lloyd Webber. It is, of course, the classic Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Now, this opens on Wednesday, the 26th of February, and runs until Sunday, the 9th of March. And this time, it's starring X Factor winner Joe McElderry as the roof-raising pharaoh. It really has been a hit for so many years, this one. I don't really need to tell you what it is all about, but what I can say is that it's full of musical theatre classics, including Any Dream Will Do, Close Every Door, There's One More Angel in Heaven, and Go Go Joseph. If you want to go along and see that, then as I say, head to Manchester's Opera House. Now, if drama is more your kind of thing, it has it in the bucket loads over at the Royal Exchange, where you get two plays for the price of one. You have Escaped Alone and What If Only. Now, these are two short plays by Carol Churchill brought together in one evening of theatre. This is guaranteed to be a powerful night out, and if you want to find out more, then do watch my interview with Lamin Toure, who is starring in one of those productions. It runs until the 8th of March over at the Royal Exchange. Well, from one incredible playwright, Carol Churchill, to another, Willie Russell. His classic Shirley Valentine is currently running at the Octagon in Bolton, and this time it has been reset to Lancashire by its star Mina Anwar. I went to see this last week. It is absolutely incredible, and that resetting really does work. It's a heartwarming one-woman comedy and sees Mina once again taking to the helm. She played Shirley Valentine back in 2020 at the Octagon Library, and now the theatre, of course, is back open and she is wowing audiences. You've still got time to catch her because this show runs until Saturday, the 8th of March. Now, you may have seen my interview with the fantastic Wendy Peters last week. Well, she is now opening in Glorious, the musical, which is coming to Hope Mill Theatre. You have to wait until the 27th of February, which is Thursday, but from then on until the 30th of March, she's going to be playing Florence Foster Jenkins. It is a true story of the woman dubbed the worst singer in the world, a socialite known for her flamboyant costumes, enigmatic performances, and decidedly off-key voice. I think this is going to be hilarious seeing Florence's journey, but there's also a lot of heart in this too. And you can catch my interview with Wendy Peters, as I say, on the Isle of Manchester Theatre Facebook page. I have been very busy. And talking of being busy, I am out this week to catch this wonderful production, The Merchant of Venice 1936. It opens tomorrow night at Lowry and it runs until the 1st of March. You may have seen my chat with a wonderful Joseph Milson, who's playing Antonio in this production. And it really has shook up The Merchant of Venice as we know it. It's come direct from the RSC, and in this show it stars Tracy Ann Oberman as Shylock. So the first time that Shylock has been made into a woman, and of course it is transported to 1930s Britain. It's a really groundbreaking new production, and if you are new to Shakespeare, definitely give this one a go because I think it will change your perceptions of the bard. Well, if you fancy catching any of those productions I just mentioned, then do head to our website, ilovemanchester.com/theatre. We've got loads more information there. We've got reviews, and of course, you can book your tickets there too. I'll be back with more guests next week, so please do join us if you can. And in the meantime, spread the word, give us a follow, and leave us a comment. I'll be back with more next Monday right here. So have a good week, and I'll see you then.